Welcome to the Hunt, Fish, Travel podcast, the first and longest running female-hosted hunting podcast. She's done chasing turkeys and gearing up for muskie hunting. But first, she's helping you navigate your trip of a lifetime. And now, here's your hostess, Carrie Zilka.
Welcome to the Hunt, Fish, Travel podcast. I'm your hostess, Carrie Zilka. This week, we're talking to Esai Cervantez from Old Size Outdoor Performance Products about hunting coyotes in Montana. The show notes for this episode can be found on the website huntfishtravel.net under the show tab. You can also find Hunt Fish Travel on the Outdoor Podcast channel, a brand new episode from a different outdoor podcast every single day, all on one single RSS feed. So everybody knows you as Sai. Sai, welcome to the show.
Yes, hello, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't believe that we've never done a Predator episode until it occurred to me, and I'm like, well, let's get one done.
Well, I'm glad you're able to contact me, and, there's a lot of great things going out here in Montana, and I feel absolutely privileged to share with you what I do and what we do out here in Montana, and, how we're getting more and more folks to come out here and take advantage of some of the greatest things that Montana has to offer.
Heck yeah. So let's tell the listeners a little bit about your about the products in your company and the products that you make and sell.
Yeah, not a problem. Well, the company Old Size was founded in 2012. We developed a new signature wildlife attractant that caters to hunters that are into predators, bears, wolves, coyotes, scavengers. It's a scent lure. It's a very effective lure that works well. And, we're just kind of a new up-and-coming business here in the state. And we get a lot of our support from our locals, a lot of people that are trying our product. They have a lot of great field results with it. It's an organic, natural-made scent lure. We pretty much developed the idea from food waste that is recycled fryer oil from restaurants, and we contract with a lot of different biofuel outfitters to kind of take their waste products, which is the main ingredients of which we use in our products, and we've developed it in a way where hunters can use it out in the field, and it mimics the smells of fast food, so it draws in a lot of different types of wildlife, and we're just enjoying how well it works for us and the amount of support we get from our hunters. We're just very thankful to be where we're at right now.
That is really cool. Good for you, and how innovative.
Thank you. Yeah, actually, the idea came when, I was working in a different business. The idea just kind of fell in my lap by default. I just saw a niche, and, I found it to be very viable for hunters to go out there and have themselves a universal product that works. You can hang it in the trees, you can smear it, or you can cook the contents. It just deploys a very rancid odor, and, the wildlife find it very irresistible.
Where can one buy your products? Are they sold in big box store, or is it only online?
We do have a big online presence as of now. I do work with a lot of our local retailers here in the state of Montana. We have a few major big companies like Bob Ward, Sedhorn Sports. We have a few smaller retail stores that carry our product now. We're actually kind of in the startup phase of launching our product nationally this year. So we do anticipate that we will, have our product be seen at Cabela's, Bass Pro Shops here probably this year, if not sooner. And we're very excited to see where our success and our results that have folks use our product. And we think it will be a big part of, some of the major box stores to kind of use our name and have our products sold on their retail shelves.
Wonderful. All right. So I have to ask you, tell us one little tidbit that people don't know about you. What is something that you do that the general public wouldn't know that you do?
Well, I live out here in Montana for a reason. I really enjoy the outdoors. I'm a wildlife enthusiast myself. I know a lot of different ranchers that have to, be cautious about predators, and especially when it comes to their livestock. So that's kind of where I, join myself with the community. And some things that people don't find that they would recognize when they first meet me is that, I'm an innovator at heart. I see a need, and I like to cultivate something new and share new ideas and distribute waste products into an actual marketable, idea product. And that's kind of what I feel like I'd be known for in this lifetime for sure. Kind of thinking outside the box.
That's great. So let's talk a little bit more about Montana. Tell us why people should consider it for their next hunting trip.
Absolutely. People from all over the world have beginning to recognize Montana as the the world's gateway to wildlife hunting, fishing. You have your world's premier fishing out here. A lot of people pride themselves in being here in the outdoors. Specifically, I just kind of target predators, coyotes in specific. We know that they're not really protected by the National Wildlife Bureau. So it's open season year round. It helps me with business. It helps the name get out there, make people's hunts more enjoyable with getting, instant results with where they want to go out and hunt and lure in wildlife. And we came this far. We feel like there's really a lot more for us to improve on, and just getting the feedback from our folks that have used our products. We've gotten a lot of other inspirational ideas that have enabled us to move forward and cultivate other products. And, this product, works for a variety of wildlife. I focus on coyotes in specific. There's other folks here in the United States that like to hunt bears and wolves and other scavengers. Knowing where I'm at, it's just, we're just kind of really in a huge open area where there's just a lot of different types of wildlife, and coyotes are something specifically that I like to, just beta test with the product, just because, that's kind of your more common predator, wolves, coyotes, bears, things like that.
Sure.
And we've been having just tremendous luck, and we feel like demographically we're in a really great spot to be doing what we're doing and having a product that we, cater to. I don't know if you're familiar with Sims. They kind of focus on, wildlife with fishing. They do a lot of different waders, fishing accessories, rods, things like that. We're right in their own backyard, and it feels good to have their support and have us being recognized, in the outdoor community.
Awesome. So when it comes to predator hunting in Montana, is there a lot of public hunting land, or should people go with an outfitter, do you think?
You're in a state which is the third largest state in the United States, and we're also the least populated. There's about just right over 1 million people in this entire state. So there's a lot of open territory. Just 5 miles in my backyard, I can go out, perch up a little bait site, and then just kind of watch the wildlife roam. It's, it's kind of their back door too. So I feel like we have a huge advantage just being here in the state because of the amount of predators that roam the land. There's a lot of ranchers that are concerned about their livestock, so I like to cater to them on how they can, be more mindful how to eliminate those problems. And, a lot of people are just becoming more familiar with Montana when it comes to their outdoor wildlife.
Sure. So do you think it would be a fair statement to say to somebody, if you're interested in going coyote hunting in Montana, feel free to knock on some ranchers' doors? They probably love it.
Absolutely. They would definitely open their doors to you. I feel like they have more important things to do other than protect their livestock. They got to feed them. There's a lot of other responsibilities that ranchers have to take in consideration. But you know what? We've had most of our success on our sites by going to these different farmlands and just kind of testing out the areas. And they're very more than welcome to have us come out there and try something new. And they get a lot of free product from us. So it's a win-win for both of us.
Awesome. So since we're talking about coyote hunting, and why don't we start with the basics? Since I know nothing about it, do you generally hunt them at night or during the day?
Typically early in the morning before the sun comes out. These predators really like to be very recluse. At night, also, they kind of roam around. During the day, they kind of hide out because they know that there's a lot of other activity out there, and they don't want to be hindered by, they're really nocturnal animals. So they're very early in the morning or very late at night. That's typically where we find more of our success in the field. Okay. And that's just typically how they migrate throughout the lands here in Montana. So
then do you, and I'm sure I get the impression that that's that way, like across the United States. Do you call them, or do you bait them, or? There's a lot of different strategies on luring different types of predators. I'm working with a company right now called Fox Pro. They've developed a unique, lure. It's a digital voice impression of other smaller animals like rabbits squealing, other animals in distress. And, some of the coyotes respond well when they hear it. And there's other ways of luring in predators. In this instance where I work with, I have a scent lure. So it kind of complements, a person who's going out there in the woods who has a visual decoy, an audio decoy, and also a scent lure. It's the trifecta that really kind of makes us
more distinguished and very unique, because there's other companies out there that have visual and auditorial decoys. We like to separate from those and kind of break into something new with a scent lure that works just as effective, and we feel it also caters to audio and visual decoys as well.
Okay, excellent. So is using a lure, is that considered baiting or no?
Technically, the definition for baiting is feeding the wildlife. My product is more of a liquid paste. So if you were to smear this on a tree and if a wildlife were to come up and lick it off, you probably wouldn't see it again. Baiting is having a station where you feed it apples and other food-like products where it keeps the wildlife coming back. That's where we kind of found our niche too in the scent lure product. And we've already got it approved by the Fish and Wildlife of Idaho and Montana that our product is not a bait. Okay. It's more classified as a scent lure, which helps hunters kind of feel more at ease when they want to try our product, especially when they're in a state where it doesn't govern baiting and baiting laws.
Okay, so say I want to go predator hunting. What should I do? So I'm assuming I should hunt at night. What should I look for? What kind of fields should I look for setting up, or just any field will do?
Well, we feel like just where there's a predominant areas of predators, especially out here in Montana, they just roam freely. It's open territory for them. They really don't do much migrating. They're here all year round. We find that being in the prairie where you have a lot of open views, you can kind of see your target from several hundred yards away, and then luring them in is definitely a challenge. So when we're in an area where we know there's a lot of wildlife activity, and if we have a product that works to bring them in, there's a lot of different tactics that you can use. A lot of folks call them in from a distance. Other folks use visual decoys to kind of make it sound like there's an animal that's in duress, and they come in that way. We've tried all three, and the most effective way is obviously using a scent lure that draws them in instantly, where they're very curious with the smells. Mm-hmm. Having an open territory is an advantage where you can kind of see the wildlife come in.
Sure.
Especially when you're in a very, deep mountainous area where there's a lot of hills, a lot of open range, mountains, trees. It's a little harder to kind of spot out your game. The advantage of having a scent lure is that the product that we make it works well in all seasons and climates. It works very well in the wind, wet climates. You can also cook our product on a windy day. You got to really know your terrain well to kind of know what you're getting yourself into. You just can't just throw this bag in a Safeway parking lot and expect a bear to walk up to it. There's a little bit of a tactic and technique to use. And, being out here in the area where we're at, it's just predominantly wildlife everywhere. So we just kind of pick and choose our spots. We kind of go where other locals recommend where they find wolves and coyotes, where they've had success at. And then we went out there, trialed it, and we've had our own success. So getting to know some of the locals and maybe talking to some of your wildlife park rangers, they'll definitely recommend some areas of where they want some of the population to be a little more, less mainstream.
Yeah. So do you use different, okay, so let's take them three separately, because I'm genuinely curious. So with visuals, I'm assuming it doesn't matter what time of year. If you're using a rabbit or whatever, you just put the little visual rabbit out there. What about calls? Do you use different calls, say in the spring compared to fall?
Yeah, absolutely. When the springtime, more of your critters come out of hibernation, more of your ground scavengers will be more prominent. So the coyotes will definitely reckon that, pay attention to some of the seasons. The wintertime is a little more tough. We feel like using a scent lure is more effective than having a visual decoy that may not be in season, or having a call that may not be able to respond as what they are used to in the spring or summer months. So there is definitely a climatic, opportunity for folks to try out different things. We've kind of adapted to the all-season, all-purpose lure, and we're very fortunate to find that, and people have just given us nothing but positive feedback, and it just amplifies their hunt. And it's just some of the tools that they have, that they use, that they can find, and have success with.
Sure. How much are the non-resident tags in Montana? Do you have to have preference points like you do?
Well, for coyotes, you're definitely going to need a game tag. For locals like me, it's around $25 a year. Considering that coyotes is open season year round, you really don't need a tag to hunt those predators. which makes it excellent for us because we can field test year round.
Yeah.
And when it comes to other states that kind of, have laws against baiting or using a scent lure in that time or the season, it works excellent on bears. We feel like when we first got this product out, it was actually catered to bears because of the grease and fats and the lards that are actually some of the main ingredients that make the lure. Bears just find it absolutely irresistible. Like in the state of Idaho, for example, we have a couple of our sponsors that use this on their guided hunts where they charge customers up to $8,000 for about a 4-day excursion in the middle of the woods of Idaho. And they've tried this product and they've had nothing but just awesome results with it as well. So where we're at, we're in a state where it's very limited for folks to just come out here, bring out a rifle and just shoot anything. They're very protected. The niche that we found and then kind of just moving forward is just kind of catering to the ranchers, protecting their livestock. And then also just your recreational hunters that just go out and hunt coyotes for their pelts and just to kind of make a living that way.
Okay. So what would be the number one tip you would give a new coyote hunter?
Know your environment.
Other than buy a size scent lure.
Right. I feel like the number one thing any hunter in the wood wants to know is just to be very aware of their environment. Being very courteous of the environment. I'm an environmentalist myself. I'm just not the kind of person that goes out there and free range to shoot to kill. I enjoy the hunt. It's more of a experience for me, and it's quite an adrenaline rush. And when we're out there in an area where there's just a prominent species, i.e. coyotes, it's kind of hard not to ignore that.
Yeah. What's the craziest thing you've ever had happen to you while coyote hunting?
Well, some friends of mine, actually, it's a great question. We're out here in central Montana. It's the dead center spot of the state. It's called Lewistown. Some friends of mine went out there to build a cabin, and they were like, hey, bring some of your product out. There's a huge coyote population out here. Let's just see how well it works. So we went out there and, we set up some cages, we set up some traps, some snares, and we actually were able to get 2 raccoons in a cage, which was unexpected for us because we were trying to get the coyotes. Yeah. And we thought that was absolutely radical because we never seen two critters in a cage fighting over something that they'd never smelled before. So we thought that was pretty interesting.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Well, a testament, and how fun is it to work for a company or be the owner of a company where you get to, because I'm sure you're constantly testing, so you just get to hunt all the time and test out new product.
Absolutely. It gives me the opportunity to kind of explore Montana in ways where I've never been able to see it before. Having a product that's developed for hunters who have a passion in being in the outdoors and want something that's going to work well for them. We really pride ourselves in what we do, especially when we take something that's a waste product and then we develop it and market it into a way where folks can actually redistribute something that has no value and obviously create a lifetime experience with their success and their passion with hunting.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to come on the show and chat about what's obviously a passion, and that's interesting stuff about using lures. I guess I didn't even know you could use lures for coyotes. I just always thought you just called them in and then shot them. So,
yeah, absolutely. Coming into this, I've had a lot of support with some of the universities. I like to, joint ventures and, get a lot of different outside resources to kind of recognize the idea that's kind of new and up and coming. For example, we work with Montana State University. They've given us just nothing but absolute credibility and support with marketing, identifying our niche. We know that the average hunter in the United States spends over $250 a year for discretional items like ghillie suits, weapons, rifles, decoys, scents, lures. And, we have a really large percentage on where we know where our product can be a very valuable asset and strategy being in the outdoor performance world. And, coming where we're at, we feel like this is going to be a very worthy idea. We've had interest with Shark Tank. We've had a lot of different outside ventures wanting to come in and do private labeling with our product. Me being the founder and CEO, I just feel like I'm able to do all this with just support of the locals and not really sell myself short to just the monetary gain, but just the passion that I've been able to develop and pursue. Sure. And it's been one of the journey. I really enjoy what I do. It's been amazing.
That's great. Because how old are you?
I just turned 27 on the 30th.
So well, happy birthday for for one thing. And how awesome is that as a young entrepreneur? It's quite the success story.
And I appreciate that. A lot of people really value that story. And, I just got to say, opportunity is everywhere you look. And if you have a dream and a vision, you can definitely pursue it. And dreams do come true.
Awesome. So where can people find out more about you, and where can they go to buy your product?
The best place to check us out and just to feel more about what we do and how we created what we created, you can check out www.predatorlures.com. That's predatorslures.com.
Thank you very, very much again, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you soon.
Absolutely, Carrie. What a pleasure, and I appreciate your time. Good luck to you. We will hope to see you out here in Montana soon. You know who to call.
Right, and definitely.
We're looking forward to having you come out here and having some fun and success and, seeing something new.
Yep.
We live 80 miles from Yellowstone. We're in Bozeman, Montana.
Oh, see?
It's an absolute one-of-a-kind place. I'll tell you, it's the last best place.
Awesome. And that'll do it. Thanks so much for listening. If you'd like to support the Hunt, Fish, Travel podcast, head on over to patreon.com/Carrie Zylka, CarrieZylka, where you can chip in $1 or $2. Podcasting isn't free, and your support helps keep the lights on. Don't forget to find the show on iTunes. Just search for Hunt, Fish, Travel, all one word. Hit the subscribe button. You can also follow me on social media. Just go to huntfishtravel.net and click on the social media icon of your choice. Thank you for listening.